Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Future Net Zero Insight with me, Kieran Bowes. And I'm delighted to say that this week we're joined by Dr. Jean de Bernardi from France and from Honeywell. And this is actually a really interesting conversation, I think, Jean, because as tourists, we see historical monuments and landmarks, and we marvel at the beauty. We may take photos. We enjoy the spectacle. But one thing that doesn't cross many people's minds really is how are they being run, and how much energy does it cost to keep them running, and that side of the historical monuments that we don't see much of. And you guys have come up with a new technology that is used to cut the carbon emissions of the Eiffel Tower. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. The Eiffel Tower was running on a 407C chiller, and this is actually for the area where the people can visit. And they had to go for future-proof solutions and green solutions for sure. So they selected a more sustainable, I would say, end game solution, which is chilling the water with our HFO solution, which is named R1234ZE. This is one of the three HFO developed by Honeywell. I could give you some examples, but this one, I mean, typically when you do this kind of change, you easily reach 10 to 15% efficiency improvement. So this is not negligible at all.
So, can you explain to people that obviously won't understand really, I guess, the hydraulic side of the Eiffel Tower? I've been before as a tourist, and obviously, it's one of the things which is great about it is that you can travel up and down, and you can get a great view of Paris as well. But your technology that you've developed, how does it cut the emissions, and how does it make the Eiffel Tower, visiting it more of an energy efficient process?
Okay, the refrigerant by themselves are more or less efficient. Okay, the last generation of HFOs developed by Honeywell are the most efficient ever accessible to mankind, to humankind. I mean, this is really the best engineered refrigerant ever. So by using them with modern technologies, obviously, then you cut efficiency simply because they are better by nature. And for what you were saying about the hydraulic systems, etc. In the Eiffel Tower, you have several parts. Obviously, the one for the public, this is the one we're talking about, but there is as well a big part which is a big data center. This is not the topic of today, but maybe a topic of tomorrow for HFO again. This is not a scoop, but quite a scoop.
Do you think that this is something we can see for other historical landmarks? Obviously, we love to go and see them, but the impact that they can have, keeping them going, obviously with them being so old, the less an adaptation towards modern technologies. Do you think we could see that coming more frequently?
Yes, we have a couple. We have a couple of examples. The last one we participated to is the Eurotunnel, the tunnel between the channel, where we had to again project this historical tunnel into the future. The company, so Eurotunnel, who deals with this tunnel, has decided to opt for HFO solutions. And in this situation, they publicly communicate to be saving close to 35% of energy compared to the previous solutions. So yes, absolutely. And so you will see it everywhere. You need air conditioning. And this relates to the future of air comfort in general and refrigeration. I think this talk. I think the most frequent occasions for you to see our product is in your car. Most of the car of today run with our HFO R1234YF, and this is now. We have more than 160 million cars on the road. So this is really a massive argument in your everyday life, where you can really experience this kind of technology.
What does this component do, say, in a car, or do for the system being used in the Eiffel Tower?
So the refrigerant themselves, they are the media that will generate heat or extract heat. So by essence, refrigerant are fluids that can very easily evaporate or condense. So in this condensation and evaporation, there is a lot of energy, and to do that, they are compressed by a compressor to be able to go to the condensation, or they are used with an expansion device for evaporation. And in this refrigeration cycle, refrigerant is the blood, I would say, of the body, when the rest of the components are the heart, the lungs, etc. This is we are the blood.
That makes a lot more sense to me. Yeah. I mean, that was really the point for me that I found really interesting was obviously we're now seeing old things, antique things, and things that we consider to be, as they are, really having to adapt to changes in terms of trying to make everything better for the environment. Another space that we obviously see this in is retrofitting with houses. So, do you think that the next stage for this technology, we'll see it in a lot more places than just the Eiffel Tower and, as you say, cars?
Yeah, and absolutely. One of the most used way of adapt the our environment is the water chiller, traditional air conditioning. And on these ones, I would say that 100% of the industrial to large commercial chillers, so the one for the shopping malls, airports, hospitals, etc., have adopted one of our technology, even two of our technologies, R1234ZE and R1233ZD. Sorry, these are complex names. With technology of compression, which is a screw and centrifugal compressors. But we can see now the smaller commercial chillers, so for hotels, schools, this kind of smaller capacities, which are now promised to the same refrigerant, so 34ZE with scroll compressors. So we can see a full wave or a full food chain, I would say, which are going towards HFOs. And another one which is very popular now are all the data centers. All our data has to be treated, and this generates a lot of heat, and data center has to be cooled down. So I have a concrete example for you, which is the data center of Eurocontrol,
Yeah.
which is the big data center which is mastering our air traffic in Europe. So before COVID, it was 36,000 commercial flights per day that were
Wow.
managed by this data center. All the routes, issues, late arrivals, storms,
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
strikes, and these guys implemented 1234ZE, our technology, and reported to be saving now 12% compared to their previous system. So I tell you, I mean, this is not only going future-proofed, but this is as well going. We like the term of energy preservation much more than energy efficiency, because energy is something which is finished. We have to preserve it. Can you imagine if all these systems which are consuming close to 20% of the electricity in the world can increase efficiency by 10 to 20%? I mean, this is a big benefit
Massive
for all of
difference.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that perfectly summarizes hopefully where we'll be taking the next steps in the journey towards that. And I do want to thank you for coming on today and discussing this. And I think it was obviously it's a really interesting point to see how behind the scenes of what we're seeing, changes are being made to really affect the, as you called it, the food cycle of energy. And thanks for coming on today, and have a great day.